Welcome to the Community 2020, where our focus is to provide physical, mental, spiritual info and positive vibes to help you endure and adapt. We'll be bringing you experts to provide strategies to handle stress and boost your immunity. So welcome all to the Immunity Community 2020, where our job is to help boost immunity and positive vibes. And with us today, I'm very honored to have Marji Graf, who's the CEO and president of the Rockville Chamber of Commerce, and which our Pain Arthritis Relief Center is a member, and also just several other colleagues, people that have already been on this show, are members of the Chamber. So Marji, can you tell us a little bit about before I go into you, because I know you have an extensive background in business, and you've also been involved in other chambers. Can you tell us about the Rockville Chamber in particular, and what's the purpose? Like, what is the Rockville Chamber or the Chamber of Commerce? What's it for?
Well, actually, I'm the one driving your ship. It's your ship. It's not my ship.
Awesome.
Okay? So all the businesses together make up the Chamber of Commerce. And what I do is I make those connections for you. I make those introductions for you. So I'm a one-stop shop for that. Whatever it is you, a business might need, call me, let me know what the need is, because we're connected with the city, we're connected with the council, we're connected with our legislators. And so we can get things done.
Awesome. And that's really important, because it feels like, speaking for myself as a business owner, a lot of times I feel like you're just lost in a sea of confusion. And so can you tell us a little bit about this specific time period? Were you deputized, so to speak? And we had a brief conversation. I don't know another word for that, but that's kind of what it seems. You were given the badge of honor to help people with all of the financial confusion for the payroll protection program and whatnot. Can you explain your role there?
Well, let me go back 12 years when it was the economic downturn. I owned two businesses, and I was operating out of Vermont at the time, but they were worldwide marketing organizations that I had. And I was selling high-end products into hotels and day spas worldwide. And all of a sudden, the economic downturn, and my accountant says either file for bankruptcy or get a job. And I'm like, oh my God, I spent years building this business. You don't tell an entrepreneur that she has to get a job. So it was
exactly.
the worst time in my life. I cried. There was no government. There was no government assistance. There was no assistance at that time. You were just like, you either made it or you didn't.
Yeah.
So when this happened, it was very personal for me, because I know the pain. I've had the businesses. I've been in the same position, and I take this so personally, because I don't want to see any of my members or any businesses go through what I went through to have to make that kind of decision. So I have been taking it upon myself to make sure I get every single resource and opportunity out there first. I want you to, I want businesses to know, this is available, this is available, this is when you go for it. And I've been taking real pride to make sure that I get this information out fast, and I'm there as a resource. And even Montgomery County Council, they taught the chambers how to help people, like go through the PHEG application so we can help people. And so we're helping a lot of people go through the different process. But, I've been there, I've done it. I went through Storm Irene in Vermont, where I was working with FEMA. I feel like I'm a disaster specialist.
Relief. Well, disaster relief. Well, hopefully not creating disasters, but helping people with relief from them. So that's really cool. And it really seems that your past history of being a business owner, you felt the pain. And I couldn't agree more that in 2008, I made it through that time as well. And this is, almost 12 years ago now, which is crazy and much, much different. And I'm really, really proud of our local, state, and federal governments for how they stepped in so quickly, and really, things have moved fast, and the way that information and the ability to, I know there's some contention with the funding, but we use in our business the term speed kills, because it works in sports too, and it works in therapy and all of that as well. So, and it seems like you apply that same concept. Is there Is there any advice or tips you can give, from business owners to employees locally within our county or Rockville specifically that, to help us weather this storm or really get through or navigate some of the difficult financial and business times?
Well, the first thing I think is important for everybody is to know what you can control and what you can't control,
Mm.
Personally and in business. So you can really focus on what you can control and get rid of all that outside stimulus coming in, which isn't always the truth. There's a lot of misinformation out there. So if you can just focus on what you can control, I think that helps people spiritually, emotionally, financially, in order to deal with everything. And someone gave me good advice years ago: stay where your feet are. So
I love that. That's
stay,
awesome.
stay in the day.
Yeah.
Stay where you are. Yesterday's gone. The way of doing business, the way it was, is gone. We don't know what the future is going to look like. None of us know what the future is going to look like. So let's just stay in the day, put the next foot forward, focus on what we can control, and just do the next right thing.
That's awesome.
That is just my, how I manage. And also, like, take time. We all have the time now because we don't have that other stimulus in the drive. So take time to do a SWOT analysis on your business. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are opportunities? What are threats? How can you take this time to look at your business instead of being in your business?
Awesome.
Nobody's had that time before.
Yeah, because we're all stuck in the trenches. So you said SWOT, SWOT. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very, very cool.
So that's a good one. And, a lot of businesses have been pivoting. I know that's a big word.
Yeah,
now,
of
pivoting.
course. Yep.
But, there was somebody in our chamber, the Right Fluff Pet Sitting, for instance. She had a great business going, where she would come in the house and stay with your pet or walk your pet. And now her business is zero because everybody's home with their pets, right?
Yeah, of course.
So what she did is she said, you know what? She wants to be good for the environment as well. So she turned her whole business as a shopper. So she puts an email out like every week and she'll say, well, I'm going to Safeway, Giant, blah, 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 because you can't find everything in one store.
Yeah.
So people will send her what they need. And then she will do all the shopping. So she says, if it's just me going in a store instead of 10 other people going in a store, so she's helping
That's brilliant.
Spread the virus and helping do these deliveries. And so she's done a fantastic job of pivoting in this.
That's an awesome example of pivoting. I love it. And keeping the safety of our community in mind and still hustling, which is awesome. It's so cool.
Restaurants are doing a great thing too.
Yep.
They have been passing the baton. So what happens if you go onto like one of the restaurants, I think right now it's the Original Pancake House. So you can go and you can buy a meal for someone. And then so they go to Shady Grove Hospital and they're providing meals for all the staff there.
Awesome.
So I think it started with the Beanbag Deli, and they've just been passing the baton to another restaurant. So it's the Original Pancake House this week.
It's awesome just as a student of business, just to watch how people have to get creative, because I myself personally, I've been resisting like just getting out onto the internet, and I just, here and there I was doing stuff, but this has just forced me to pivot and stay engaged with people. And otherwise we'd be at a lunch and learn or doing something like that. But now we're doing it this way.
I know. And look at you, look what you're doing. I think that's great.
Thank you.
And the chambers had to take all of our events and move them onto Zoom. All of our committee meetings, all of our masterminds, all of our breakfast series, lunch series, mix and mingles. I'm new to the Zoom platform too. I never had to do, everything on Zoom before. And I find myself sitting in this chair at 8:30 in the morning, finishing at 6 at night. I make myself take a lunch from 1 to 2. I make myself.
That's perfect.
It's like more people can now get involved, not only in business, but also socially. Look what happened over Passover and Easter.
Yeah. Yeah.
came from all family members, came from everywhere.
Yeah,
You
even
know?
around the world. And I've
Yeah.
been doing that with my family as well. We're on either house party or FaceTime, or, you know, because I have younger relatives who are getting me accustomed to other software and different apps and things like that, and my kids. Well, that's awesome. So you gave us some really powerful tools. I love that SWOT. So really, as a business owner, to look at your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Take time to work on your business. Have an awareness of what you can control and what you cannot control. And there's a lot of things nowadays that we cannot control. And it does feel just much better to let it go and just focus. And for me, the thing I can control most is my reactions, my emotions. I have a question for you on that too after. And then the last thing to summarize, you talked about was staying where your feet are. I equate that to being grounded. And that's being a grounded, whether it's a rock or a stable environment for your family, your employees, your friends, your colleagues. And so for yourself, can you leave our audience, because you have business experience, you have, you know, just entrepreneurial experience. What are any other magical tips that you have for, let's say, managing emotions or things along those lines that come to mind?
Well, this is also a good time to improve your skills. Because we have not had that opportunity when we're working and running so fast, right?
Right.
So this is a good time to, or even a hobby. Personally, you know, look at different things. There are all kinds of opportunities out there now.
Yeah.
That we can take advantage of that we haven't had the time. So I try to look at, you know, all the opportunities that are.
I love it.
And also just to tell you how great our chamber members are. We have been sourcing amongst each other.
Yes.
So for instance, like Angelina Pharma makes wipes and hand sanitizers, and
That's
Shady
cool.
Grove Hospital needed it. So we connected them.
Great.
And then Angelina Pharma opened up a place in Atlanta, Georgia, hired 150 people. 2 of them came down with COVID. They had to shut down. So now they've got face masks from Shady Grove. So that has been a good connection.
Cool.
Yesterday, one of our members had a terrible fire, fresh baguette. And so I reached out to him. And one of the things I did is I reached out to Reddy, you know, Rockville Economic Development. I reached out to the mayor, and I reached out to Frit, just because I know he just got a contract baking breads for All Moms Organic. So that was a big hit for him.
Yeah.
And now he's got the fire and he can't bake. So I'm trying to like set him up with another restaurant where he can either move to or continue, you know, baking. So that's stuff that Chamber does. Like when we find out about something, we make those connections and really can step in and help immediately. You know, awesome. So I tell people, reach out, you know, let me know what we can do for you, because if I don't know, I know who does know. And awesome. You know, that's the most important thing as being a business owner, an entrepreneur, and running a chamber. It's like, you know, if you need something, you need to know who to go to.
That's wonderful. Well, Marji, thank you so much for putting in your tireless effort, and really, like, I'm glad, I'm excited to continue to build our relationship through the chamber. And you're such an amazing resource, because I love that even if you don't know how to find it or do it, you're going to find somebody who can, and that's you're a connector. That's your magic, or one of your pieces of magic. So thank you for sharing that with the Immunity Community 2020. We have some seriously awesome gems to share with our audience. And then if any of you are business owners and you're listening in here, please chime in so that we can, you know, collaborate and stay connected. Just as Marji shared, there's a need, and there's a definite gelling and communal feeling that we really haven't had, because we've all been focused on ourselves and running too fast. So thank you so much for your time. And any last words? Or you've said a lot too. So
I just thank you, Brian, for all you're doing too.
Awesome. You're welcome. All right.